Back again, third time tonight. I'm killing it. There's just so much to talk about. When I first started my video blogging escapade, I did a video blog on black people's complex with complexion. But it was a Facebook video, so I feel like, seeing as how my audience has grown, thank you very much for you guys watching and listening and commenting, etc. I need to do this blog, and I need to do it on YouTube, which is a larger forum, of course, because I feel like it needs to be talked about. One person on my page who commented on a status that has to do with this issue basically said I shouldn't give it the time of day. And I can understand where she's coming from. That makes sense, yes. But at the same time, you gotta acknowledge something if you want it to change, right? You gotta acknowledge something if you want something to happen with that. You can't just ignore it and hope it'll change itself. So we're gonna talk about the complex of complexion. Now, when I previously had this discussion, I had people tell me that people with the problem of skin bleaching, that it's a matter of personal style and it's not a complex and whatever the case may be, but I personally think that's a crock of shit. I've heard all those explanations, that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, I know personally, being a black female, that the majority of the time, not all the time, the majority of the time, it is a matter of having a complex. So let's talk about it. I watched the new Rihanna video. What is it called? The Wait is Over or something? The Waiting, or whatever the frig the new video is called. Rihanna's new video. And just so we can kind of get the idea, today's November 5th, 2009, so you guys know her new album's coming out. It's the first song released from it. So my comment, I posted the link to the video on my Facebook account, and my comment was basically like, I'm so unimpressed with it. I am tired. Okay? It's the same shit all the time from Rihanna, okay? I think she needs to, like, when she first came out, there was a diversity to her and continuing on. But it's like, since late 2008, nothing has changed. Every video, she's going to be wearing some type of black leather or something dominatrix-like or you know, underworld-ish, and it's very dark and it has an evil look to it, or whatever she's trying to do, the rock version of hip-hop, whatever. But my point is, we need variety, okay? It's getting repetitive, and I feel like I'm watching the same video over and over and over. Show us something more. Come at us with something different. Wow us somehow. Do something. Stop making everything the same. So that was my comment. And somebody made a comment on my link, and I'm sure it was a matter of them not thinking before they speak, because it's somebody I speak to on a regular basis, and it's somebody that I would call a friend because I talk to that person that much. But yeah, so they made the comment, stop hating on the light-skinned girl. And that pissed me off to no goddamn end. And let me explain to you why. Because I feel like, and it's a problem, I feel like anytime a female, a dark-skinned black female, has an issue with something, and all of a sudden, and especially if it's an issue with something a light-skinned female or a light-skinned person has done, it's always a matter of, oh, she's hating on the fact that she's light-skinned. So that was basically their comment. Stop hating on the light-skinned girl. Pissed me off, because number one, anybody who knows me knows I would not trade in a million years to become light-skinned, period. Wouldn't want to be, at all, period. They have their own issues to deal with, okay? Like, for instance, Mariah Carey said when she was growing up in school, she had issues because the white people didn't accept her, and neither did the black people. You're kind of stuck in between. What do you do then, right? Right. Now, one thing I have to say, which is something I constantly say, and it's like, black people don't hear me. And some people want to be in denial that some light-skinned, remember, disclaimer, if it's not about you, why are you mad? Disclaimer, so remember, if you're light-skinned and this is not about you, why are you mad? Don't message me with your angry bullshit. But some people are in denial of the fact that some light-skinned people have this complex to think that they are the superior blacks, that they are better than other blacks because they're not dark-skinned, and they have this idea that the blacker you are, the less favorable you are, the less attractive you are, etc. So, and of course, I agree with Judge Mathis that this is something that has been ingrained in their brains since the time of slavery. When you were a light-skinned slave, you got to work in the kitchen and all kinds of stuff, and chances are you were a light-skinned slave because the master screwed your mother, okay, and you were born. So you're half white, you're half black, and that's essentially how the lighter tones started coming about in the black culture, is from way back in the day. Them old masses used to get down and busy with the slaves because they done know, say, once you have black, you never go back. But that's a whole other topic, okay? Let's stay on track here. So I'm tired of saying it, and I feel like people aren't hearing me, they're not listening, they're not catching it. But guess what? When the KKK and the people who like to call us, quote, niggers, and the people who don't like black people get on their rants and their raves, they don't take time to sit down and say, okay, let's come up with a color scheme scale and grade the darknesses and lightnesses of complexion from 1 to 10 and see who's superior than others. So then we can determine who gets shot, who gets beat, who gets lynched, and who gets raped in the ass with something disgusting, because that's the nasty shit they used to do to black people back in the days, and they probably still do it now, because I know a man was lynched in 2008 and probably in 2007, and goddamn, there was probably a man lynched in 2009. So my point is this: racists do not differentiate and like the light-skinned blacks more than the dark-skinned blacks. No. If they had their way, we would all be grouped together and shot and lynched and whatever the hell's to cause our untimely and sad demise, because they don't like black people. And like my good friend Bernie just brought up in my status, people are forgetting the one-drop rule. Okay, and that rule still applies. You have one little teensy bit of black DNA in your body, you are considered black. And that's what it is. So stop with this whole complex. And it's really irritating and it's really sickening to see that people are starting to get this whole complex ingrained in their head. Not even black people, but white people as well. For a white person to turn around and say that I'm hating on a light-skinned girl, that means they believe in the superiority. They believe that I now feel a way and I'm now internally angry at this female because of the tone of her skin. Not because I didn't like her music video, not because I wasn't feeling the song, but because I was internally mad at the fact she was born with light skin and I wasn't. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? I think that's funny, because that's not the case. First of all, I could be the type of black girl that runs around and is like, well, I'm better than most black girls because I have brown in me, because whatever, I happen to have what people call brown or coolie or Indian or whatever in my bloodstream. So I could run around and say I'm better because I'm considered a Douglas and whatever else the case may be, and I'm cuter than the rest, but I don't, because guess what? When people ask me what I am, I don't say, oh, I'm mixed. No, I say I'm black. I consider myself black. The odd time somebody will ask if there's, a little mix or something in there, that's fine, whatever, but guess what? The answer is I'm black, and I'm damn proud to be black, and I wouldn't change it for the world, okay? I wouldn't want to be half black or a third black or maybe a quarter black. No. I'm damn happy black and I'm damn happy dark skin. I love it. Ask my girlfriends. If you guys ever get a chance to go on my Facebook and ask my girlfriends, especially my white friends, when they were tanning in the summertime, who was lathered up with olive oil right next to them. I was, straight up. I love the dark crispy tone I get in the summertime, so I tan. The only reason I kind of calm down on it is because it's not good for your skin. But I used to slap on olive oil, which I love, which is better than going out and buying tanning oil and all that jazz. Just go in your kitchen and get some good old olive oil. It makes your skin silky smooth and moisturized and mwah, beautiful. And I would go sit out in the sun and get me some nice crispy, crunchy, toasty tones. Love it. So stop with this bullshit. You're not better because you're light skinned. You're just the same, just the same. And this whole complexion complex is what is part of the reason of why black people will never prosper as they should. That's the truth of the situation.